This is wild as a report reveals a shocking Rams update. We are talking about their draft strategy and maybe not even being interested in a specific position. And we're also going to talk about Jared Verse potentially playing offense. What are we talking about? We'll talk about all that and much more on today's episode of the Rams Digest. I'm your host, Joshua Giron. Remember, if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor. Press that subscribe button now, as roughly 72.4% of you guys are already watching the videos. So might as well subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any daily Rams content here at the Rams Digest. First things first, I do want to get into this first story here as a little more shocking in my opinion. The Rams go no on Jackson Dart. We knew that already, obviously, as we're about a couple weeks removed already at this point from the draft, and maybe we can kind of move on from this, but I'm a little bit shocked because a new report did kind of reveal some intriguing details. When we're talking about the Rams actually not even seeming like they were interested in Jackson Dart, right? And so behind the scenes draft video proves Rams weren't going to take Jackson Dart at number 26. This comes to us from Cameron DeSilva from the Rams Wire. Now, before we get into the details of this story, I did want to kind of acknowledge too, it's not just quarterback, right, that the Rams didn't take. And I also want to say this. I don't want to just keep being negative about the Rams. Say, oh no, they should have got a quarterback. They should have got a future, maybe a future right tackle replacement. They should have got a cornerback replacement. They should have got a linebacker replacement. Like, of course, there's a lot of things I think, and many fans think the Rams should have done or could have done in the draft. Ultimately, it is what it is at this point, but I do want to acknowledge that it's interesting that the Rams weren't even interested or intrigued by Jackson Dart. It's just another name to kind of think about, right, moving forward post-draft to kind of see, okay, where are these players going to be, and will the Rams regret some of these decisions? Speaking on Dart first, coming out of the 2025 NFL Draft, there was a lot of speculation on whether the Giants stole Jackson Dart from Los Angeles Rams when they traded up to number 25 to take the Ole Miss quarterback. Obviously, the Giants doing that. Some believe the Rams liked Dart and would have considered taking him in round one, but there's new evidence that proves they weren't planning on going to select Dart at number 26 overall. In a new video posted by the Giants, general manager Joe Schoen is seen on the phone with Rams GM Les Snead multiple times talking about the possibility of swapping picks. In other words, the Rams were looking to move down before they even knew Dart was gone. And so, yeah, that was kind of intriguing, right? I think during the live stream, Josh and I were talking back and forth. If you guys caught it or you guys want to go back and watch it, go ahead and look at it. But we were discussing, hey, maybe the Giants swooping in ahead of the Rams right before their pick, right, with Atlanta. Maybe that was the Giants saying, no, we're afraid the Rams will take Jackson Dart here, so we're going to swoop in, trade with Atlanta instead, and also, take Jackson Dart to make sure that we can get the quarterback that we want. Ultimately, no, right? Joe Schoen was actually on the phone. We have audio evidence and clip evidence of him saying, hey, Les, let me figure this out real quick because we're trying to move back. Maybe we'll see, or move back into the first round to get Jackson Dart. But Atlanta's calling us as well. So was it Atlanta? No, I'm sorry, not Atlanta. It was Houston, right? Houston's GM was on the phone. Nick Casario, I think is his name. And so he's on the phone, trying to talk with the Giants as well. And so ultimately, I think the Giants just went with their best opportunity to go ahead and swoop back into the first round to take Jackson Dart. But it wasn't to try to sneak in ahead of the Rams. And who knows, maybe the Rams were intrigued at taking that trade offer as well to maybe move back with the Giants in that kind of ordeal. So ultimately, not really a major deal, but just intriguing to know the Rams were not even interested in Jackson Dart when we all kind of thought maybe they were. Maybe the Giants swooped in and stole him from the Rams. Not really the case. And so it kind of begs the question, right? The Rams obviously weren't looking at quarterback this year. Maybe they're hoping that Stafford can play for a couple more seasons. That's all great. Obviously, you trade back with Atlanta. The Rams are able to now get a first-round pick next year, potentially get a quarterback in next year's draft, which is arguably a better draft class, some may say. But, okay, maybe that's one thing. But the Rams in the first round, right, before they traded back, they could have taken a Will Johnson, right, who fell to them, a cornerback. They could have taken a Jihad Campbell, who now goes to the Philadelphia Eagles. So those are a couple of names that I'm really intrigued by to kind of keep an eye on and say, hey, maybe the Rams should have gone this route, or even later in the draft, right, at the quarterback position, maybe taking a Will Howard, right? I know Josh Feinhersh, my co-host here on the Rams Digest, really likes him as a quarterback prospect. So those are all names to kind of keep an eye on to say, hey, maybe the Rams are going to regret missing out on some of these opportunities at positions of need for them in the future. But ultimately, hey, we're trying to win now, and the Rams, we're definitely looking at more of that route, even though the linebacker does have some holes. Cornerback maybe can be a little bit of a soft spot for the defense, as well as the future of certain positions. But it is what it is. The Rams, we can trust that hopefully they did the right moves in the draft, and we'll see how it turns out this upcoming season. Moving on from that, Jared Verse, he's going to play some offense, apparently, right? Or at least that's what he wants to do. So he went on the Rich Eisen show, and he was discussing, just the potential of, playing offense. He did play offense in high school. I think he was only an offensive player in high school, I believe, tight end, receiver kind of. I think he said he had a game or something like that where he actually was on the field on defense, but because he looked tired on offense, his high school coaches decided to keep him on the offensive side of the ball. They wanted him better there. Rams news, Jared Verse sends surprising message to Sean McVay, put me on offense. A little more of a lighthearted, fun story here because we know this is probably not going to happen. Hey, maybe it's the Travis Hunter effect on the NFL players already, but hey, defensive players are going to start saying, hey, get me in on offense too. Let me catch a touchdown as well. And I mean, we've seen this in the history of the NFL before, right? Players saying they want the football, so it's not really too much of a surprise, but Jared Verse, of course, saying his thing, saying, I'm going to tell him again, put me on offense, throw me the ball, dude. Jared Verse on playing offense and talking to his head coach, Sean McVay. It would be nice to see. How do you guys feel? Do you guys want to see Jared Verse go out there and catch a touchdown? I think Sean McVay is a fun enough coach to where he would consider doing something like this, maybe in a blowout game or, maybe a sneak kind of low package out there. But, it's funny when Jared Verse was talking to Rich Eisen, he was actually saying, like, look, I say it all the time, and he brushes it off because if you listen to me all the time and you try to listen to everything I said, you would lose your mind because I talk a lot. So Jared Verse kind of acknowledging he's just kind of spewing out whatever. Obviously, he just likes to have fun and talk and joke all the time. And so I'm sure he does have some, want to play on the offensive side of the football, but he understands that that's, not necessarily going to be what wins the Rams football games all the time, but also just kind of a little funny story. I would love to see him go out there, play tight end one possession, and just catch a touchdown at some point in the regular season, of course, probably not in a big moment in a playoff game or anything like that, but we'll wait and see if Jared Verse plays on offense this year. You guys let me know. Give your comment and your guess prediction right now. Will Jared Verse play just one snap on offense throughout this upcoming season? Let me know how you guys feel about that in the comment section down below. Moving on from that, last but not least, my favorite part of the episode where we give a trivia of a day question. Last episode, I gave you guys a pretty fun, easy trivia of the day. You guys play along in the comment section down below. Whether you're right or whether you're wrong, I'll give you a shout out on the next episode. Is how it typically works. If you miss the last trivia of the day, it is what it is. You can play along with today's trivia of the day. Don't worry about it. Last episode's trivia of the day was this question here. Who was the first Rams player to win the league MVP award? We had a couple of guesses on this question. I want to pull up the multiple choice options for you guys real quick. Was it A, Parker Hall? Was it B? I think I might have gotten these in a different order. Who was the first Rams player to win league MVP award? Was it Parker Hall, Bob Waterfield, Deacon Jones, or Norm Van Brocklin? Those were the multiple choice options. We had a couple of people play along in the comment sections, which I always appreciate you guys playing along with the trivia of the day. Again, whether you're right or whether you're wrong. Here were the guesses on last episode's trivia of the day. Keith says, I'll go with Parker Hall. The Real J Will says, probably Parker Hall because it's obscure, but I'm going to go with Van Brocklin. And then Brian B says Norm Van Brocklin. Those were the guesses for the trivia of the day on the last episode. Again, appreciate all of you guys for playing along. Whether you got it right or whether you got it wrong, we'll give you the right answer right now in a second. But if you want to play on today's trivia of the day, it's coming up soon. You give your comment in the comment section down below. And then we'll obviously shout you out in the next episode whether you're right or whether you're wrong. The correct answer for the trivia of the day was Parker Hall. The Real J Will, you had it. Keith, shout out to you for getting that as well. Linus Parker Bullet Hall. He was named the most valuable player in 1939 and was the first professional player to complete over 100 passes in a single season. So obviously back in the old days when they weren't really doing the football that much. But yes, Parker Hall was the correct answer. The Road J Will had it, but he went with Van Brocklin. Brian B went with Van Brocklin. Keith, officially the only one to get this trivia of the day correct. So I appreciate all of you guys for playing along with the trivia of the day. Today's trivia of the day is this question here. A little more of a lighthearted, fun one as well. After retiring from the NFL, the Rams defensive tackle Merlin Olsen appeared as a regular cast member on what TV show? Very, very interesting here. If you're a true Rams fan, especially if you guys have been a Rams fan for a very long time, I'm sure you know this answer. Again, after retiring from the NFL, Rams defensive tackle Merlin Olsen appeared as a regular cast member on what TV show? The multiple choice options are as such. Was it A, Little House on the Prairie? Was it B, Big Valley? Was it C, Webster? Or was it D, Coach? Again, after retiring from the NFL, Rams defensive tackle Merlin Olsen appeared as a regular cast member on what TV show? Was it A, Little House on the Prairie, B, Big Valley, C, Webster, or D, Coach? Let me know your guesses down below in the comment section. Whether you're right or whether you're wrong, we'll give a shout out on the next episode. Other than that, that's going to do it for me on today's episode of the Rams Digest. Hope you guys have a great Mother's Day. I'll be back on Mother's Day making a video as well, so make sure you guys tune in to that. Other than that, that's going to do it for me on today's episode. I'm your host, Joshua Giron, and I'm out.